Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aussie's Take on Everything. I'm K-Dog.
And I'm Jay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yes. Let's see how this goes. Last episode, we talked a fair bit about gaming. And we're going to start with gaming today.
But before we do, I just want to plug our socials on Twitter, at ATOE Podcast. Email is the same, atoepodcast@hotmail.com. Give us a follow. Send us an email. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on.
Tweet at us anytime.
Anytime.
All right, today I want to talk a little bit about, the loot boxing. The loot boxing in games has been a big thing. There's a trial right now, or it's been going on, and EA obviously been the main ones, and they're talking about loot boxing, which they've tried to change it into surprise mechanics.
Yeah, surprise mechanics. Yeah, I did see that.
But let's talk about that. I mean, is loot boxing really a huge issue in gaming?
I don't think it is.
No?
I honestly don't, because I understand where people think it is. There is an issue with it, but if you say, let's talk about FIFA. Let's talk about FIFA, because it's one of the main ones. If you play FIFA, do you have to spend actual money to play?
No,
exactly. So if you want to open packs and you want to spend money, you can, but you don't have to.
No, exactly.
And it's the same thing.
I think that's some people's issue is the fact that you can spend in-game you can buy in-game currency to buy the packs. Maybe that's the main issue a lot of people are having.
Yeah, but if you're in the situation where you're working full-time and you don't have time to grind the game and you have the money spare, then why can't you spend your money that you earned on a game that you bought you want to play your way, because you don't have the time to grind and be in a good position. So when you come home from work, then you're in a position where you can just come home and game for a couple of hours and not have to sit there and worry about grinding it out to earn the in-game currency.
The only other thing I can really see a lot of people complaining about, and there's some legitimacy in some ways to what they're going on about, but it's the the psychological manipulation that they use, the tactics they use to actually get people to spend more money. A lot of gambling type tactics that they use to actually get people to spend more. But it's sort of hard to say realistically. I think because I've seen a lot of videos recently about people who are problem gamblers trying to get over their addiction and using gaming as an outlet for that, and then they're sort of hit with gambling type situations again with the loot boxes.
But if they're adults and they're obviously making that choice to stop gambling, then obviously they're aware of it. So wouldn't you just steer away from those kind of games? Yeah,
I guess you would steer away from those games. I mean, it's sort of hard nowadays, though. I mean, loot. Is there a game that doesn't have some semblance of a loot box?
There is plenty. There is plenty, but there is a lot that do have it. There is plenty that don't, but there's a lot that do.
Yeah, there just seems to be a lot of the mobile gaming market has kind of impacted the gaming industry on consoles and PC. I mean, you've got the loot boxes, obviously, which basically came from mobile gaming. You've got the in-game currency, which you can use to spend on things in-game that also came from mobile gaming. And from recent reports, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I have heard a lot of reports. The NBA 2K19 apparently has these full ads before you can even get into a game. It's very similar to ads in mobile gaming. So in the mobile gaming, so. Is it a negative or is it positive, or it's a mixture? It's sort of hard to say 100% bad or good.
It's exactly that. It's hard to say because it's a step. They're looking at it as a step forward, but they can't just implement it straight away. So eventually these games that we're talking about might eventually be free. and you just play the game and you watch ads to do things and stuff.
And that's how they get their money from
and that's how they get the money. But they can't just make the games free and then it doesn't work out because then they're losing money. So they're going to try it first. At some point, they're going to trial it. So I don't know. I understand where the advert thing. It's just kind of like, well,
it is a little bit dodge. I mean, like this is a new thing that was implemented, and the game apparently in the US was selling for like $3. But that kind of annoying to the people who paid a full price, and now they're going to deal with ads in their game.
It is, but at the same time, if it's $3 now, it came out in like last November, September. So that's a long time to wait. If you were like, there was no ads because I had I had the game early on. There was no ads. So like at this stage of the cycle, there's a new game coming out. It's already advertised, or you can already pre-order it. At this point, it doesn't really bother me. It would have bothered me if it's like comes out September and by December it's $3. Like 2 months without ads, and then all of a sudden you've got ads. Like, but this long, there's a lot of people that aren't playing it now. Because
true. I mean,
the diehards are. But there's a lot of people that aren't playing it anymore because it's like there's a few months away and then there's going to be a new one. So, yeah.
I just thought we'd just talk about that for a bit. I mean, it is sort of a morally grey area, I guess you could say. It's not ethical, but it is ethical depending on how it's implemented, how they decide to do it. EA seem to be a little bit on the unethical side, but then again, it's EA. What do you expect?
Yeah, well,
I know. I honestly, they're like shooting fish in a barrel now. EA is just basically the joke of the gaming industry. Recently, one of the guys came out and said he doesn't understand why that they have such a bad reputation. And it's like his excuse was that, we're such a big company. Our mistakes are notified like straight away in comparison to other games. It's like, well, that's not entirely the case because there's other companies that are making mistakes. They're doing things about it. EA just straight out lies about what's going to be in the game, and then are like, why are you guys so angry about the game? It's like, it's because you didn't put in what you promised was going to be in the game.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of false advertising in a lot of ways.
It is. It definitely is. EA has always been bad for it, but I don't know. They haven't always been bad for it.
They haven't always been.
I don't know when, but I do blame FIFA for it because that's when I started to notice it. But maybe it was in other games that I didn't play. But yeah, I noticed it
there was
when they
always,
added Ultimate Team.
I think honestly, for me, from what I've noticed, somewhere between Mass Effect 2 and 3, where that was being developed by BioWare. Because they're the publishers of that, I think it's the ending of Mass Effect 3. Like, everyone was promising you get your own ending. It's like, well, no, that didn't quite happen. And there's a bit of controversy about that. Let's just say that.
yeah, there definitely was.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'll put this out to anyone that's on Twitter, that's going to follow us on Twitter. What's your view on this? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is EA just dumb? Or is loot boxes a good thing, a bad thing? It's up to you. You decide. And I guess the best thing I can really say is vote with your wallet.
Yeah, that's it. And also, if you're listening and you want to talk to us on Twitter, send us your EA memes, your best EA memes, because I'd love to see them. I actually really like EA memes.
I don't think I've seen very many EA memes.
You haven't seen many? Oh,
no, I have not.
You look it up, bro. Look it up.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. There's heaps of EA memes. There's heaps. There's heaps. But yeah, no, it's an interesting thing to talk about. It's an interesting thing to think about. But it is the direction that gaming is going in. And
it definitely does.
There's more and more games with more and more of things. But like, it's coming to the point where I kind of think I'm starting to like it. Like the fact that there's things that you can earn in game when you can earn it, or if you want to spend, you can. Like the options there. It's not like one of those games where it's like, here's a game, but you only have half the game, and if you got to pay to play the rest. You're still getting the full game. So
of course,
that's a good thing. So if you want to play, you can still play. There's two ways of playing, and if you want to pay and like do it that way, then that's fine. Because if you got time to grind it,
why not?
then why not grind it? Like earn things when you get things when you grind it, it's more valuable to you. Like you feel like I earned that. Whereas if you spend, it's like fast now.
Yeah.
But that's what everyone's like now. Everyone's like, I want the payoff now, and not later. So like people are paying, but as long as it doesn't affect gameplay of those who don't pay, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the whole play to win type thing. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't affect the non-players.
Honestly, for me personally, I'm like I've spent a little bit when it comes to FIFA. Other games, not so much. I usually just ignore it.
I know for a fact that you've spent more on Supercard than what you have on FIFA. So before you start saying that, Supercard is a monster for that. You just spend a little bit here, a little bit there, and then the next thing you know, spend a lot.
I swear I spent like probably almost $500.
Yeah, I would have spent more.
Maybe even more. I mean, I've been playing that game for like 3-4 years, something along those lines.
Yeah, when did you join? You joined in like
season 2, 3, something like that.
The end of season 2. I
think it was.
Yeah, it was end of season 2. I've been there since day 1 of season 1. I've probably spent more than what you've spent, but I'm not a pack.
You got to get them pros, man. You got to get those pros. You got to get those event cards.
You do that's the thing. That's the key, the event cards. But I'm not a pack guy on that game.
My problem is I spend a lot of the money that I get, I spend on doublers.
Yeah.
I've got to have them doublers. So instead of having to do 5, 10, 15, 20, I can go 10, 20, boom, done. First card's out of the way, 2 games.
Yeah, that's it.
Speaking of Supercard, okay, for you people out there that play Supercard, when you join a team, could you not join a new team? Could you not try and be a control freak and tell the team how they should be, and say that this person is a freeloader when they've been there since probably the team has started? That kind of thing really bugs me. It really annoys me. I reckon it messes with it like a team dynamic, and it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, this kind of sounds like it's directed at somebody in particular, though. I don't know, though. Maybe not. It sounds it.
Hey, I'm not about to throw shade or throw heat, but let's just say we've had a couple of members recently be part of our team that decided to be, well, annoying.
Annoying is the best word you got?
Yeah, well, I've got a different word, but I don't know if we're allowed to say it on the podcast.
We are on a team on WWE Supercard called Best Kept Secrets. You can join, maybe. I don't know. We sometimes have spots. Not always.
Yeah, it's usually between 8 and 9 members we've got. So
it's a really solid team. We usually get shit done. Our owner's a bit of a bitch, Negan. He's a bit of a bitch, unfortunately. But the rest is good. The rest is good. TJ, he's my guy. Shah, Spanky. We've got a good team. But yeah, Negan, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
Not so much.
Are we going to get backlash from this? Uh-oh.
Probably going to get kicked from the team. It's all good. We'll just make a new one.
The way that our team was, I don't think we're going to get kicked. I mean, essentially, it was you and Negan that decided, let's get out of here and create our own team.
That's it. It's pretty much my team anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. Speaking of, we just went from talking about wrestling games, mobile games, speak about wrestling in general.
Yes.
I heard on the grapevine that you wanted to talk about the Attitude Era.
Yeah, a little bit. And this may annoy some people.
Good.
Some people.
Good.
Is it possible that the Attitude Era is romanticized and it's just a nostalgia factor that people are remembering it from, like, because it was, for a lot of people, it's, their youth. It was when they were kids, they were watching it every Monday night and all that kind of stuff. Is it because of a nostalgia factor that people go back and look at Raw? It's like, look at Raw back in the Attitude Era. It's shit now, but look at it back then. It was awesome. It's like, is it just a nostalgia factor?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it could be. That is definitely there. Because if I go back and watch it now, it doesn't seem as good as what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like things that happen now the way that the writing is and stuff now that is very similar. It hasn't changed that much. It's just that back then it was different. I guess it was like a little bit edgy, a little bit more shocking. Nowadays, it's so predictable. But at the same time, it's because we've grown up with it.
Yeah.
And we've watched so much of it that we know what's going to happen because we know how the business works.
I think so.
Because with social media as well, you can go online, you can find out things. There's just so much stuff. Is that ruining it? Maybe. You know, it's one of those things. But Attitude Era was great, but I don't know if it was as great as what we remember it being.
No, I don't think so either. I think a lot of it is just romanticizing it. It's just a nostalgia factor type thing. I mean, there's people who grew up who are younger than us that absolutely loved the, I guess you call it the ruthless aggression era. Absolutely loved it. And I remember Triple H being world champion for like
10 years.
Year.
Was it 10? I don't know.
Felt like
it felt like 10. It felt like 10.
I mean, some of the rivalries he was in was good. They were great, but it wasn't all great.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it is a nostalgia factor more than anything else. I mean, it was great, but the way that it's hyped up and it's put over the top as the best thing ever, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Because when we were watching it then, though, we were enjoying it. But I think we're ruining it for ourselves now because anything that happens in wrestling now, within seconds, it's negative on social media. Like within seconds. Like within seconds.
I know. It's ridiculous.
If they did the Mark Henry Mae Young hand thing now, people would shit on it for days and say it's the stupidest thing ever. But because it happened then, and it's funny and it's a meme and we laugh about it, but we wouldn't do that now. It'd be so negative. It's the dumbest thing they've ever done. I'm not.
What are the writers even
anymore.
thinking? What the hell? That's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen on Monday Night Raw. It's like, oh my god, just calm down. I think a lot of it is social media, honestly, and
it is.
I think it has to do with the fact that everyone. This isn't just wrestling orientated, I guess, but everyone critiques everything.
Yeah, they do. They do. But everyone wants to have a voice, which is fair enough. Everyone wants to be able to talk of things, but it's just the way it's kind of handled. Like everything is negative. You never go on social media and see something or it's a positive about things. Well, you do, but not often.
Yeah,
always
exactly.
negative all the time. The Cedric Alexander segment on this past week's Raw, when he came out in the mask and he was wearing the jumpsuit, people were saying how bad that was and how stupid writing. Obviously, Paul Heyman's got nothing to do with this. This is all Vince McMahon. But then as soon as he unmasked and it was Cedric, everyone was like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. At least he's on TV. I'm glad he's in the main event. Just wait before you freaking tweet. Just wait. Why is everyone these days so like, I want it now?
I don't know, man.
If you look back at the Attitude Era and you say like how good it was and how like Austin and Triple H and their rivalries and The Rock and Austin, Undertaker Austin, it's always Austin, but like their rivalries were so good and the payoff, the matches, the main event style matchups were so good just because they took weeks and weeks to get there. Nowadays, it's like if someone loses, then like, oh, you're being squashed. This is stupid. Why would they do that? Just wait, because within 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to have an interesting story and there's a payoff at the end. That's how wrestling works. That's why these days people look at Raw, look at SmackDown. Hell, they look at Ring of Honor. They look at other things and go, oh, this is dumb. This is dumb. Just wait. Just enjoy it as what it is. It's
I'll be honest, the biggest fan moment that I had recently, and that was the main event at Stomping Ground with Seth versus Baron Corbin, and having what's her name? Oh God,
Lacey.
That's it. Lacey Evans as the special referee. It wasn't a great match, but it was a great moment, and I actually felt almost like I felt back when I was watching it in 2000, 2001.
Yeah, it was that when the Becky came out.
It was the payoff and the crowd response was just electric.
There's good old days.
That is what it was like. It was just, it was like being a fan watching it again as a teenager. It was like, oh my God. So that was it was just a really good moment, but everyone was like chanting CM Punk, CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand
boring,
it. I know
boring. It's like, oh my
that's
God,
the
calm
new
down.
that's the new boring chant, the CM Punk chant. I don't get that CM Punk chant. I never will. I mean, I don't understand it. Why would you chant for someone that not just walked out on WWE, but like the way he treated his friends and stuff. But I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah,
Not going to get into that because I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, let's just say when I found out about that, not a fan.
Yeah.
Do you think Punk may have been a little bit overrated?
It's a tough one because I used to like Punk back when he was like straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people did. There was like 50-50.
That Royal Rumble, man. That Royal Rumble was awesome.
Was great. He was in the Rumble. I just kept eliminating everyone. That's great.
Yeah.
When he did the best in the world thing and the pipe bomb and everyone got behind him, he was good. But he was never. I don't think he was ever like the best in-ring talent. Like, in-ring technical skills wise. No. But he was good. He could have been the next generation Stone Cold. But I guess management, booking, there's a lot of reasons, politics. He didn't get in that spot, and he took his ball and he went. But fair enough. If that's what that he wants to do, if that's the decision that he wanted to make, then that's fine. But I don't know. I think if he had stuck around, I don't know, maybe not because of the way the company was going at the time.
Yeah,
the direction they were going in. But
well, it is funny. Like, if none of that happened, if Punk didn't leave, would Daniel Bryan be as big of a star that he became?
Yeah, that's an interesting fact because the whole Yes Movement WrestleMania thing only occurred because of Punk leaving.
And they changed their plans.
Yeah.
Originally, it was supposed to be Punk and Triple H. I don't know about the main event match. Punk, I don't think he was going to be inserted in the main event match, but Daniel Bryan being inserted in the main event due to him beating Triple H earlier on in the night came into effect after Punk left.
Yep, it was like panic stations. What are we going to do? Rewrite WrestleMania. So that year we would have had Punk and Triple H. And we
probably still would have had Batista and Randy Orton.
Thank God CM Punk left then. Because that would have been a stinky WrestleMania.
Oh, my.
Like, proper stink fest.
I mean, they had to do something because, like, as soon as Batista came out, the boos at Royal Rumble. Oh, my God. Imagine the main event of WrestleMania just being the whole time.
It would have been
That's what it would have
interesting.
The whole thing. I mean, we've almost had those type of main events with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, but not quite because it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting.
It is very interesting. You just never know what's going to happen. Like, what could have happened? I mean, the whole we were talking about the Attitude Era before. The Attitude Era would not I don't think it would have gone the way it did if it wasn't for the McMahon screw job on Bret Hart.
Yeah. That was like the new direction they were going in anyway with the whole attitude thing. But it wouldn't have ever got to where it did.
I mean, Bret was in the ads for the Attitude Era ads that they had on the time.
Yeah.
He was in a couple of them, but Vince wasn't a character. I mean, Austin Shaw was getting over, and I'm sure he would have, obviously been the guy for a period of time. But I think that rivalry with Vince McMahon and everything else, it just elevated it even more.
Yeah, Austin and Vince definitely did create the Attitude Era that we came to love. If it wasn't for that, it might have been not as good.
Yeah,
you don't know. Little things change things a lot.
Very much so.
It's very interesting though with the coming up with the Evolve 10th anniversary.
That is actually a really cool concept.
It is on the WWE Network.
I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this type of stuff. This is just really awesome. Having Evolve on the WWE Network.
Yeah, I think it's a way to kind of somewhat combat the AEW buzz. Maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what they want to do or not. But people are like, oh, it's on at the same time as the what is it called? Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a charity event.
Yeah, which comes across bad on WWE's part, like
Yeah, but at the
competing
same
against Joe
time,
to
it
come in.
could have just been coincidence.
Yeah, I
Evolve
think
had this. It's not a WWE event; it's an
no.
Evolve event,
Yeah,
and it's just
Evolve have
appearing
been
on the WWE network.
Evolve have been advertising it for a while, but I don't
Yeah.
know when WWE decided to put it on. I don't know if it
Mm-hmm.
was in direct competition. Some people will say it definitely was. Some people might say it definitely
Yeah, well,
wasn't. But
WWE is the bad guy of the wrestling industry.
yeah, of course they are. Of course they are. They got the biggest amount of money, so they're the
Yeah, huh?
worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, NXT UK Takeover Cardiff is on the same day as one of the other big events of AEW. So maybe it is competition.
Maybe there are truths to the conspiracies.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, with Evolve and everything that they're doing for the WWE network, I wouldn't mind seeing like insane championship wrestling and all those type of companies coming onto the WWE network. That'd be cool. It'd be actually
cool.
good.
It'd be cool.
Instead of having, I mean, back in the day, you'd have to be a tape trader to really see all these different companies and all these different wrestlers. Go on the network. You can watch Evolve. You can watch Raw. You can watch SmackDown. Granted, it's from a month ago, but and watching in like ICW. I mean, who knows who else they'd get in contact with? Why not get in contact with Ring of Honor? Yes, I know.
Hell, why not get in contact with Impact? Like, why not? Why not? I mean, like,
well, they need the money, man. They need the money bad.
They do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with supporting other companies and like helping each other grow, because WWE needs to get its talent from somewhere.
And a lot of people say, "Oh, WWE doesn't do that." Okay, you need to sit down and listen for a second. Back in the day, Vince McMahon was essentially financing ECW.
Yeah, he was.
And to say that Vince is automatically the bad guy when it comes to the wrestling industry is absolutely and utterly ridiculous.
Preach, my brother. Preach.
I mean, he helped fucking Paul Heyman. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. He helped Paul Heyman basically finance his company.
Mm-hmm.
But, Vince is the bad guy.
Vince is always the bad guy. But to be fair, the writing and the stuff in the last 5 years has been wishy-washy at best.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that he does everything right. And I'm definitely not going to say he's this genius. He's smart. He's really good when it comes to the industry. But, yeah, he makes mistakes.
The thing with Vince, though, he's always a step behind the trend, because, like, deliberately a step behind, because he wants to make sure the trend is worth investing in. Mm-hmm. So like, if you see something going on, you're like, oh, WWE's still not doing this. Other people are. He's just waiting to see if it works. If it's just like a trend that works for a while and then it kind of dies out, there's not much point in spending money on it. And like, changing the way the show is just for this trend that kind of flops, and then it's like, oh, now what do we do? So he's deliberately always a step behind.
Yeah. Yeah, just sort of analysing the situation to see if it's actually worth getting something to invest in.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
I mean, there's always been these types of rumours when it comes to the WWE that they bury people. Like Triple H has been known to the guy to bury people.
Yeah, well, that ended, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look at NXT. Look at what he's done with NXT. Look at the stars that he's made with NXT.
Yeah.
And he's the guy that buries people?
I know. But
maybe at a stage he did.
Yeah,
maybe he's learned from his mistakes.
Yeah, maybe he did.
But he's done a really good job.
He has. When he was wrestling, he might have done the golden shovel and all that stuff. But that kind of meme died off as soon as NXT kind of sprouted, and everyone's like, "Oh, actually, wait."
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't heard a Triple H burial meme for a while. So
yeah, exactly.
But NXT is. It's kind of the weird spot at the moment. It's like almost a transition phase again.
Oh, understandably.
It happens every I don't know, even like every year, maybe every year and a half, something, where like a lot of the top guys go to the main roster and they try to build up people again, because Johnny Gargano is there, Adam Cole is there, Velveteen Dream is there. They're the only real three built up stars. The others heaps of stars there, but they're the built up three. So now they're trying to build up the other guys to beat those.
To replace them when they actually do go in the main roster.
When they go, yeah. Because you got Tommaso Ciampa who's out as well. You've got Street Profits showing up on Raw. I don't know if they're ever going to wrestle.
Oh
on Raw,
my god, they are so entertaining.
They are. They're a breath of fresh air to the tag teams. It's so good, but they'll get the call up and they'll be there, and people will leave, and it's always that kind of transition. So I think it's in that kind of stage at the moment. They're they're building new stars. It happened when Shinsuke and Joe and Finn and everyone when those guys leave, they had to kind of make new stars. So
and they had to rely on Buddy Rude.
Who?
Bobby Roode, sorry. Buddy Roode. Buddy Roode. No, he had to rely on like Bobby Roode for a little bit. Yeah. Then they had Drew McIntyre as champion. And then he lost the belt straight away.
Yeah, because they wanted him straight away. Vince wanted him back straight away. They're like, no, we want him straight away.
I mean, that guy has changed so much.
I know, you look at him back then.
When he was the chosen one, he was clean cut.
He was skinny too. He was skinny.
Skinny in comparison. I didn't realise how tall he was until he came back.
Mm-hmm. He's a unit. He's an absolute. He's an absolute unit. And
it's like, I'm not getting in his way.
He needs to be champion soon. Like soon. There's so much potential. That's the other thing with the roster at the moment. There's so many good wrestlers on the shows.
And they all can't be champion.
And they all can't be champion. They all can't be used on TV at the same time because there's not enough time. There's almost too many.
I like, again, reverting back to the Attitude Era, because there were so many stars. There were so many great talents back in the Attitude Era. There were so many great talents throughout the history of WWE. But right now, it seems to be almost flooded with talent.
Yeah, there's not
great talent.
There's not that many wrestlers there that aren't that good, and the ones that aren't that good are still good in comparison to other generations. But it's just there's so much talent there at the moment. It's absolutely ridiculous. You could throw anyone with anybody, and you can almost expect a 4-star match. Anybody. So it's one of those things. Like, where's Rusev? Why isn't he on the show?
Well, the last I saw on Twitter, I think he's playing a celebrity basketball game.
I did see that. He actually scored a 3, and I was like really surprised. He's so good. He's so good. But where is he? Where's Liv Morgan? Where's our boy?
We want Liv back, man.
We do want Liv back, but where's our boy Buddy Murphy?
Yeah, I mean, the reaction he got last year at Super Showdown was just crazy.
Yeah, to be there live for that, it was probably one of the loudest reactions I've ever heard in my life to anything. I haven't heard anything that loud in my life before. Like, being there, obviously maybe in the scale of pops in wrestling, it wouldn't be top. But
no, and I'm not even sure how it would have sounded on the live record, how it sounded to people at home. But in the arena, that was one of the biggest pops I was ever a part of. Yeah,
it almost came from the ring. This sound, it just got louder and louder, and by the time it got to the back, it was like it smacked you in the face. It's this loud cheer, and it's because it had no roof. I did watch it back because I'm that guy that wants to watch it back. After I was there live, I'm like, I'm going to watch it because I want to watch it in that kind of presentation. It was loud, but I do feel being there was louder. A lot of the sound goes out of the roof, and being in there, you hear it, but. Yeah, he's a guaranteed main event star.
Oh, hell yeah!
He just has to kind of ride it out a bit. Maybe he'll be mid card for a while, but if he sticks to it and keeps trying the hardest that he can, he will be in that spot. But
please, WWE, please do not make him the Crocodile Hunter. Please don't make him the Crocodile Hunter.
I think if anyone was going to be. I think he could probably pull it off.
True.
He probably could. But yeah, there's just so much talent now, and it's just so difficult. I can't imagine sat there trying to book a Raw and actually worry and keep in mind what everyone's going to think, everyone's opinion. Having that opinion there, it's going to be so difficult.
That's the issue. That can be a part of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's this type of person going to think? What's this type of person going to think? You can't do that. If you're writing, it doesn't matter if you're writing for a TV show, you're writing for a book, you're writing for anything. You can't have those thoughts drown your creativity. You just cannot have that.
Yeah, but it's so loud now because of social media and all the hashtags and all the stuff. It's very difficult. But yeah, the WWE do listen to people on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
because of the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal and the mad kick up a stink that cause, which is justified because I was one of the people that was like against the name of it. They did change it, and it was only on social media, so they do see things and they do listen. But
was that WWE though, or was that Snickers? Because I do remember a lot of fans positioning Snickers and, advertising and all that kind of stuff. So was that WWE or was that pressure from Snickers that made that choice?
It could have been both, but I really don't think that WWE would cave just to one brand.
Mm-hmm.
Like one company says, we don't like this, and they go, oh, we're going to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly do think that that Battle Royal needs a name. I don't think it should be called the Women's Battle Royal. It should be called something.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that trophy needs a redesign.
Oh, yeah. It definitely does.
It definitely looks like some kind of bodily functionally thing. It looks like a body part.
Yes, it does. Very much so.
Yeah, and it kind of suits.
And it's kind of bad that it's also like the females' trophy.
Yeah.
Let's just call it ironic, shall we?
Yeah. That's it. If you don't know what it is, then you don't need to know.
Just look at the.
No, don't tell them to look at it.
Just look at the trophy. Just look at the trophy.
Yeah, look at the trophy.
What you see.
Yeah. Don't tell them to look at. Don't tell them to look at anything.
Oh
else.
No. Hey, but it's not. That's that.
You're thinking about that thing, and you're starting to get all fuzzy up in the head.
Odd.
But yeah, no, it needs a name. It needs a name. Yeah. It needs a purpose. Like the Andre the Giant one needs a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a title match. Maybe just something. Like I always felt like those kind of things needed something. Like you win the Rumble, you get a title match at Mania.
Mm-hmm. Even a long build to SummerSlam.
Nah, man, bring back King of the Ring. I mean, come on. Look at every tournament that's been done in the last 3 or 4 years. They're so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring it back, King of the Ring, and book it that way and have it like that. And surely it's going to be sick. Bring in a female King of the Ring, call it the Queen of the Ring, and have a title match at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can book, if you wanted to have the main event of SummerSlam to be Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, then have Brock or Seth win it. It doesn't matter who wins it at the end. It's about the tournament itself.
Exactly.
It's about bringing it back and bringing back the opportunity. Because, I guess, though, it's difficult because you've got so many of those type of matches. You've got Money in the Bank, you've got Royal Rumble. It's like you don't want to have too many guarantees because, then it's kind of predictable who's going to be in matches because, this person won, So maybe it's not a good thing, but I just wish they bring back King of the Ring because I always used to love it.
Yeah, King of the Ring was awesome. That was a great show.
Mm-hmm. My favorite was the Kurt Angle being screwed. The one that Edge won.
Yeah, 2001.
That was sick.
Yeah.
That Kurt Angle and Shane match. I'll go on record and say that's probably my favorite match of all time.
Yeah, that match was crazy.
Countless millions of matches in my life, and probably that still is one of my favorites, if not the favorite. The match was so good, but the whole event was pretty good.
Yeah, that event was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It's kind of funny how Edge won the King of the Ring, but it kind of felt overshadowed by the Kurt Angle Shane McMahon story. Maybe he deserved a better winning way to win it, but it makes sense. It was good. It was good, but yeah, tournaments and wrestling just go together.
They do.
They do.
Just look at New Japan.
Just look at wrestling. Just look at wrestling in general. Every time there's a tournament, it always works. Like there's no real way to flop it unless you book it stupid. There's no real way if you have buys and stuff and all this stupid stuff, and if you let storylines kind of determine the tournament, then yeah, it can be a bit of a flop. But if you just put guys in there and let them wrestle, that's the story. You don't need storylines going into a tournament. The tournament creates its own stories.
Yeah, it does. I'm going to win it. No, I'm going to win it.
Well, by the time you get to the final, you've watched this guy wrestle like 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and you watch the other guy wrestle 5, 6 times, and then it's like finally the final, and you've watched these guys go through all this stuff to get to the final. And you're like, who's going to win? It's got its own story. It's built-in stories, and like it doesn't need to have storylines going in and this person's going to do this and that and this person's going to screw this person over. It's like just let it be like organic and just let them wrestle.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think WWE is missing at the moment, is just letting guys go in there and wrestle. I've seen lately they're bringing it back. Just letting people go out there and wrestle without a storyline. Just go out there and have a good match. Like it's starting to slowly come back in, but it kind of sucks. But it's because WWE is not just a wrestling show; it's an entertainment show. It's for kids, it's for families, it's for hardcore fans, it's for casual fans. It's for everyone. So
yeah, well, that's why you got to have almost a mixture of different personalities and different matchups and different ways matches are done. The way the story of a match has got to be done differently for different matches because of different audiences. You've got to. It's a very broad. They have to be very broad with their presentation because their demographic is 5 to 50.
It's probably like 5 to 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult.
You've got to have we've got to have Rey Mysterio and Andrade for the lucha style type fans. We've got to have Dolph Ziggler and I'm not sure, like Kevin Owens or something for a catch as catch wrestling style match. You got to have fucking Roman and Drew as your main event type match. It's stuff like that. You got to have a mixture.
Yeah. And that's where I think there's a lot of problem as well, because a lot of the hardcore fans, myself included, and I'm guessing yourself included too, we're kind of that kind of hardcore wrestling fan base where we don't really miss many shows, and we're there to watch it all. We understand what's going on. We're watching. But then, so for us to be pleased, we want good wrestling matches. I want Cesaro and Aleister Black. That match is going to be sick, by the way. I'm kind of throwing us under the bus because I don't know how long this podcast is going to take to get out. So by the time it gets out, that match might have already been. But at the moment, as we're recording this, I'm kind of throwing us under the bus when we're recording this. It hasn't happened yet, so it's probably going to be good. But say I'm there for that. I'm there for that match. I'm there for that match.
Yeah, that's an awesome match.
But then you've got the other matches and stuff that I don't really want to see. Like I'm not a fan of this match or that match. Like Miz and Elias isn't going to be great. Like it's just not. Exactly. It's going to be a snore. It's going to be a snore fest.
I'm sorry, but that is a piss break match.
It is. But maybe not to all.
Not to
other
all.
people.
Maybe to people who are more the entertainment type.
Yeah.
There you go.
The casual fan might be more interested in that than what they are in Black and Cesaro. So, so to me, that match is not my kind of match. I don't want to watch that. But to others, they don't want to watch what I want to watch.
Exactly.
So instead of complaining about, me complaining about that match, let that match be. That's fine. It doesn't affect anything. You watch the show. There's good matches. There's great matches. There's stinky matches. But that's always going to be. No matter what company you watch, no matter where you go, it's going to be good, bad, and ugly everywhere you go.
Exactly.
So, let it be. And I don't see how, this is a little bit of a rant now, I don't see how people can let a match, wrestling can dictate their mood. Like to the point where they go on rants and they go crazy about it. I'm doing it now, though. But it pisses me off to the point where it's like...
Well, you're getting annoyed at
Just sit, watch the damn show, enjoy the bits you enjoy, don't enjoy the bits you don't enjoy, go on social media and say, I didn't enjoy this, but this was good. But instead of just bashing all the time, say your piece, move on. But I don't understand how people are still talking about things from months ago. Like, who cares? It's a wrestling show. Next week, it's going to be different. Who cares? Just chill. When I turn the TV off, after watching the show that I'm watching, that's where it ends for me. Like, I'm done. That's where it ends. I don't go 6 hours later, I'm going to go to Twitter and say, this was stupid. Maybe I'll tweet it during the show. Maybe I'll talk about it during the show, like with you, if I'm watching with you, or whoever I'm watching with. I'm like, oh, that's stupid. Why they do that for? Or that was great. But when the show's finished, that's it. I'm turned off from it. Like, that's done. It's done.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand why people are still going on and on and on. It's I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. And if I piss people off about it, I don't care because
Look,
it's
listen,
just people
the
need to just kind of relax and just watch
yeah.
the show, enjoy what you enjoy, dislike what you dislike. It's fine. Talk about it. Say how crap it is. But like when the show's finished, the show's finished. Just wait till next week, and then you can go, oh, actually, this week was good.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
the difference between the bitching that you see on Twitter and your little rant is they're bitching about the show. They're bitching about wrestling. They're bitching about WWE. You're bitching about, sorry, it's not really the correct term. You're complaining about the outrage. The outrage is ridiculous. So I think sometimes it needs to be talked about and it needs to be brought up and it needs to be almost pushed down, as in stop it. Just stop.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, too, though, you go on Twitter and you see someone's negative post about something, and before you even kind of think about it, that negativity is in your head as well. So then you see that, like, someone complaining about this, and you're like, actually, yeah, they're right. I didn't like it either. Instead of going, because it's like predisposing you, like, oh, I know that Twitter's going to be angry about that, so I'm going to be angry too. It's like this kind of cult following group mass thing where it's like, if everyone on Twitter is angry about this thing that happened, I want to go on Twitter and be angry about it too, so I can join the mob.
Yeah, and then what ends up happening sometimes is someone will bitch about something. Someone will agree. Like someone will comment down below or that they agree. Someone else comes on and disagrees with both of them. That starts a war. Then another person comes in and is like, oh, you're all wrong. This is how it should be. And then someone else comes in. What the hell's going on here? Why are you all complaining about this? It just starts. It's like a domino effect.
Picture it like a room, right? And there's one person in there, and then someone walks in and they go, blah, blah, blah. And then they go, yeah, I agree with you. And someone goes in, someone else walks in and goes, hey, I heard what you said. I don't agree. And someone else walks in and goes, hey, what's going on here? And it's just this stupid thing. It's like social media is bad because some of the stuff that people say on social media, if they were to say that to someone's face, they would never do it because they're scared.
I can't even get the word out, but being anonymous online is one of the issues there.
Yeah,
these are things that people would never say in public, but with being anonymous online, there's no repercussions. There's no, I'm going to kick your ass or anything along those lines. There's no shaming as in like verbally, like in your face. So they can get away with it. They feel like they can get away with it.
Yeah. I think there's too much of it though. There's too much of it.
Oh yeah. Look. Social media is not bad. It's how people use it, which makes it bad. Some people use it in a positive manner. Some people use it just to talk about whatever, But some people use it more as an outlet of frustration, or just, especially some people that are just edgelords. You're going to have an edgelord here and there, especially on somewhere like Twitter. It's just it's going to happen.
It is. But then again, I guess I usually go on my Twitter and I if I see negative stuff, I usually especially from someone that I follow, and if I see it a lot, if I see negative stuff a lot, I'll just unfollow them because I just don't need it. Like I'm got things to do and stuff, and then I kind of I might jump on Twitter. I've got 10 minutes to kill, and I see negative stuff. I just put you in a bad mood. I don't need it. If I feel like going and looking at it, just fucking search hashtag WWE Supercard or hashtag WWE or hashtag anything.
Oh my god! Hashtag WWE Supercard.
Negativity.
Every single thing that Cat Daddy does is wrong.
Oh, there's always people.
That's the Twitter. If you really want to see hashtag WWE Supercard, there's your friggin' spoiler. Everything Cat Daddy does is wrong.
They are like the EA of mobile gaming.
Is this the only game? Have they only got Supercard?
No, they've got an NBA version of it. It's called My NBA. It links to the NBA 2K series, which I wish Supercard did with WWE 2K to link with it somehow. But it links with that, and you can So they do have another Supercard. They do have other games too, Cat Daddy, but the main two are the Supercard ones. But yeah,
man, I mean, Yeah, people online, when it comes to, let's say, when it comes to being fans of anything, are crazy.
I know.
They're bloody crazy.
I know. They are.
Oh.
As soon as something changes, it's like, but then they complain that nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
So they want change, but when the change happens, they don't like the change.
It has to be the right change.
But there is no right change for them.
It has to be the right change.
There is no right change.
I know. It never is.
None. There is none. They'll complain about it regardless on whether it's right or wrong. They just do it. So.
And the thing is, it's not just wrestling. It's TV shows. Oh, this character shouldn't have died, or why is this character this way? Blah 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 blah. Movies. Why did this person get hired as this character?
Why did
when
this
you
person
should have got this character?
Why did this person get hired as Ariel from The Little Mermaid?
Oh my god! Oh no!
What have I done?
Okay, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. So, everyone is losing their mind over Ariel in this new Disney remake.
I was going to butt in for a second. I won't say everybody because not everybody is.
No. Let's just say a vocal minority.
Mm-hmm.
So a vocal minority is complaining that Ariel in the new movie will be black. Why is this an issue?
I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
Because she was white in in every other the Disney films and stuff, but like, who cares? Who cares what color you are?
It's a non-issue.
It is.
Honestly, it's a non-issue. I mean, you can tell it's a non-issue. Nick Fury is white in the comics. Samuel L. Jackson plays him in the Avengers. No one cares.
That's very true.
Let's see. Jason Momoa plays Aquaman. He is of Polynesian descent. In the comics, he's a white guy. What else is there? There was Will Smith played Deadshot in Suicide Squad. No one gave a damn, even though in the comics he's a white guy.
Yep.
So why is it that people are complaining about Ariel all of a sudden being a black character? I just feel like it's a non-issue.
It is a non-issue.
It's what I phrase as a non-traversy.
A non-traversy. Hashtag that.
Yeah, hashtag
non-traversy. I like it. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
I don't understand it.
Listen, and I'm kind of the same when it comes to the so-called whitewashing. Sometimes it's not a big deal. I don't really see it. Like Scarlett Johansson was in Ghost in the Shell. Not a big deal. Whatever. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know if it was any good. Sometimes it's a bad choice. Look at Dragon Ball Z Evolution. Oh my god, that movie is terrible. It is so bad. And anime adaptations into movies are always seemingly bad.
Same with video games and movies.
Oh my god,
Not always.
Not always.
But mostly.
Yeah, but mostly. I mean, Resident Evil, one of the most successful movie franchises from the gaming industry. Still kind of bad.
They're still not the greatest, but they're actually pretty cool. But I tell you what, the Hitman movies are some of the worst movies I think I've ever seen in my life.
I haven't watched them yet, so I have no idea.
If you watch them as not a Hitman fan of the game, maybe they're good, but like it's one of those things like you're like, ooh, I expected more.
Yeah,
I expected more, but you know, that's just me.
I mean, there's some that are at least so bad they're good. Like Street Fighter the movie, that was so bad it was good. I mean, there's a couple lines that I still remember. I remember one scene. It's like, change the channel.
Change the channel.
But I mean, Raul Julia in that movie is awesome. But it's Raul Julia. He's a great actor. But then you've got movies like Double Dragon. Yeah, that was bad.
Mortal Kombat movies have always been stinky too.
I like the first one, even though it was campy and it was, didn't have the R rating, obviously.
That's because like the
Possibly.
The nostalgia thing, I think it is.
Yeah, but I don't like Annihilation.
Yeah,
and I
true.
did when I was a kid. And I can't watch it now.
Yeah,
I just can't. It's just like, oh, the guy who played Shao Kahn. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, I'm just like, I'm like, oh no, they're making a new movie. Oh no, there's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming.
Yeah, oh, and it's filmed in our very own country.
Oh, boys, run for cover. boys and girls, just run.
It's being filmed in South Australia, so we'll see how that goes.
All I can say is just run.
Run.
Or
finish him.
No, just run.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you running? Why are you running? Because
I don't know how that's
coming.
Mortal
Kombat movie is coming. That's why I'm running.
I mean, if it's anything like the script that was tossed around a couple of years ago, it's going to be bad. I mean,
when you play the game, the story in the game, it's always good. So why is it like the movie's so bad? Like, just copy it. Copy it and release it.
I know that's. I think a lot of it is down. Like some people will say, "Oh, well, it's an interactive movie. There's a different medium and all that." No, I think a lot of the times, I don't know if it's the director, the producer, the production company, they get lazy, and they expect fans just to show up to the cinema to watch the damn thing, and they don't care what type of piece of trash it actually is.
Yeah, there is that. There is that.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely a thing in the film industry.
Look at any one of Uwe Boll's movies.
Yeah.
He takes these video games. He may be more of an authentic representation when it came to something like Far Cry. That was very similar to what the storyline in the movie was similar to the game, but it was still a shit movie.
Yeah,
but he makes money back anyway because of the backers. I'm not entirely sure the whole rundown how he does it, but apparently he still makes money from those movies.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Laziness is one of the major factors to really bad video game movies.
Yeah,
but there's just so many other factors. I think it's just ridiculous.
Is it just me, or is there like not as many original ideas left when it comes to movies and TV shows?
Where would you get that idea? It's not like we're getting remake after remake after remake.
That's all it is. It all is now. It's
Lion King.
It's either comic book adaptations or it's just remakes of old things that everyone's seen before. There's no original ideas.
Or a sequel of a sequel of a sequel of a sequel.
Which ends up being called a reboot. Which means it's not a remake, it's a reboot.
What's some of the movies that are coming out soon or have been talked about? Oh, Terminator. Oh, Lion King. To be fair, that could be
Lion
good.
King does actually look good. So
that could be good.
I'm going to put that out there.
But Terminator has not been good since 2.
Well,
I went to the cinema and watched 3. It was okay. It was serviceable. Salvation, yeah. Then I can't even remember what the other one was called after that, and that was bad. That was just bad.
Yeah. I haven't been a real Terminator fan, so I can't really comment on them because I haven't really watched them all. But
the second one was really good. It was a really good movie. It was like at one point, it was one of my favorite movies of all time.
Jeez.
I rate it that high. And Arnie's not a good actor, but he's very charismatic. Charismatic.
Hashtag it, charismatic. Charismatic.
First day with my new tongue.
Well, I don't want to know what happened to the old tongue. I just know we do not need to go there.
No. I think that's best kept as a secret. A best kept
secret. Best kept secret. Are you talking about our supercard team? God, secret.
Hey guys,
what's going on, team? Negan, you're a bitch. Not you. We're not talking about you. Go away. Let's play a little game to end off the podcast.
Okay,
we've been talking for a while here. I want maybe people on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we do have a Facebook. What's our Facebook?
That's a good question.
I've put you on the spot. You don't know.
I don't know. If you want to find it, I'm pretty sure it's like, Facebook.com/. ATOE podcast.
Just search us and you'll find us.
Yeah.
But if you're on there, Facebook, or if you're on Twitter or wherever, you can find us. You can play along as well if you want. But I want to know, dream matches, dream wrestling matches. Now, there's some rules. Not really rules. There's one rule, I think. It's pretty much anyone in their prime versus anyone in their prime.
Okay.
Now, I want one for tag titles, a heavyweight title. I want one for a mid-card title, and I want one for a women's title. So 4 matches.
Ooh.
4 matches.
4 matches.
4 matches.
So you want me to answer this first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
On the spot.
It's going to be weird, but I'm going to say Alundra Blaze versus Trish Stratus for the women's title.
Ooh. This is in their prime.
In their prime.
Yeah,
in their prime.
In their prime. That'd be sick.
Tag.
Yeah, tag teams.
Well, let's see. Might be weird for some people, but the Rockers versus the Hardy Boys.
Ooh, that would be lit. That actually would be. That'd be such a good match.
Mid-card title. That's a bit of a difficult one. No, that is a bit of a difficult one because a lot of times mid-carders go up to the main event status. But if I was to say in the mid-card at that time, a mid-card match when they were mid-carders, Jericho versus Shawn Michaels.
Pretty much anyone Shawn Michaels in his prime is going to be a great match. There's nothing you can do about that. You could put Shawn Michaels in every single match.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm going to take back the mid-card match because I've already got a main title match that I would really like to see, but let's go back to the mid-card. I would probably say Rob Van Dam versus Aleister Black.
Ooh, that'd be good.
And my main title one would be Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels.
That'd be really good too, actually. Oi, that's a good shouts. That's some good shouts. Now it's my turn, and I've got no idea because I only just thought up this game right now.
Yeah, you're just listening to what I got, so it's like, oh, what am I going to do now?
But I think I've got a bit of an obscure one for the mid card title. I'm gonna go with Dolph Ziggler in his prime. I don't know when his prime is. Is he in his prime now?
It's sort of hard, poor bastard.
Kind of hard to tell. But Dolph Ziggler in his prime, and you can decide which prime, versus Billy Gunn in his prime. I think that match could be sick.
That'd be good.
It'd be different because Dolph is very inspired by Billy Gunn, so it'd be kind of cool. Women's title, I'm not sure because you got Trish, you got Lita. I don't know. I really don't know. I want to put Asuka in it. It's going to be Asuka. So I think she's probably my favorite female competitor of all time. I'm going to go Asuka and Trish.
That'd be good.
It was supposed to happen too.
Really?
Yeah, it was supposed to happen on NXT, but Trish got contacted about facing Asuka at one of the NXT takeovers. I'm not sure which one. Someone will probably correct me. But Trish got pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And she had to pull out of the match. So it ended up being Asuka versus
Mickey James.
Yeah, that's when Mickey James made her comeback. So that was going to happen too, but them in their prime, yeah. So then I've got tag and I've got main title. Title. It's going to be a tough one because main title is going to be tough. I'm going to come back to that. Tag. I am a big Revival stan. I love the Revival. I'm going to put the Revival in. I don't know who against though. The Revival against Edge and Christian. Versus the Revival in their prime. In their prime. And then main event. Ooh, main event's a tough one. I'd probably go Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins.
Ooh, that's a good match. That's a 6-star classic right there.
I reckon. You're talking. This is in their prime too. So like, yeah. This is yeah. I'd probably say Seth is in his prime right now.
Yeah.
And Shawn probably.
Seth is on fire right now. I don't care what anyone says. He's probably the best performer there right now.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. There's other guys there though. there's other guys there that are not too far behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Seth is probably the main guy at the moment. Yeah.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting to see what Twitter says about that.
Mm-hmm.
What Facebook says about it.
Yep.
Email us. You could actually. I will. If you go to our Anchor page, we mainly do our podcast through Anchor. Thank you, Anchor. The Anchor team.
Thank you, Anchor.
If you go there, you can actually send us voice messages. So if you're interested and you want to be on the podcast, you can. All you have to do is just go to the Anchor profile page. If you go to our Twitter, it's there. The link's there in the bio, and just send us something. And if it's appropriate, then we might put it on.
Yeah, don't be edgelords, okay?
They can if they want to. They can be edgelords if they want.
They can if they want to, but they're not going to be on the podcast.
No, but we still might mention them by name on the podcast.
We might have just the edgelords of the week.
Edgelord of the week. That'd be cool. Actually, that'd be cool. But yeah, send us a message. Send us something on Twitter. Talk to us on Twitter. Send us an email if you want to talk. We'll talk back to you on the podcast. So if you want to get on the podcast,
the pod of cast, the
cast of pods. The cast of pods. The cast of pods. Oh my! If you want to get on the coolest podcast that's on the internet, probably don't come to ours. But
yeah, I'm about to say, what are you trying to do, man? What are you talking about?
We're probably like the 5th coolest podcast on the internet. I'm going to say that. I'm going to claim that we're the 5th coolest one on the internet.
Uh-huh.
If you want to get on the 5th coolest one, tweet us, email us, voice message, Facebook. There's so many ways to contact us. Do that, and don't be an edgelord.
And if we get enough followers on Twitter, we will be hosting polls on what we will cover on the podcast.
Yes,
in the future,
and guests. We're going to get some guests on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen. It is going to happen. We just don't know who.
Yeah, I don't know who.
We don't know who yet.
Well, we get Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette on our podcast?
Oh, no
Wicked.
No way.
Wicked. We'll get some guests. It is going to happen. It is in the works, but it's one of those things. It's only episode 2, so it's one of those things that we need to kind of get more of a following before that can kind of happen. But it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
It will happen. Anybody can be a guest. They don't have to be a celebrity.
No, exactly.
Anyone but Negan.
Oh, why shouting at Negan?
No, because he's a bitch. Anyone in the supercar community, anyone in the wrestling community, anyone in movie community, anyone in music community, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in the community as a celebrity or if you're in the community as a fan. Like, if you want to come on the pod and talk to us about that subject, then come on. Tweet us.
Alrighty.
DM us. I don't really care. Like, I don't have a problem with having 6 people on the pod at once, and we can just talk.
Mm-hmm. As long as we don't talk over one another.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I mean, 6 people is like too much for my ears.
But it could be good. But yeah, no. If you want to come on. Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't.
But anyway, yeah, make suggestions. Like Jay is saying, make suggestions of people you want to see on the podcast. Even suggestions on topics you want us to cover in future podcasts. If we've got some semblance of an understanding of what we're actually talking about.
I do. There is a rumor in the winds. In the winds, I just went past.
It's pretty damn windy too.
It is windy. I just heard it in my ear as it went past me, and it said that we might be having a guest soon who's a fishing expert. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know that much about fishing. I don't know if you do or not.
I know a little.
I don't know that much. So I don't know if that's true or not. It could be just a rumor, but it could also be true. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But there's a rumor.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have fun. Stay safe. No edgelording.
No edgelording. It is not allowed.
It's not allowed. It's banned.
Not allowed. Bad.
Not allowed.
Bad. You will be put in concentration camps. FEMA camps.
I don't believe you said that. I don't believe you said that. All right. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.
I don't believe you said concentration camps.